Your grocery store tomatoes taste like cardboard. Your lettuce wilts in 2 days. But what if the most delicious, most powerful vegetables are the ones everyone stopped growing? Ancient, tough. They fed empires and survived wars. And the best part? They grow easier than weeds. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you 20 incredible forgotten vegetables that will transform your garden. Hey there, I'm Adam Grove. Welcome to Backyard Crops. Growing your own vegetables should be easy, productive, and enjoyable, not stressful, not expensive. Hit that subscribe button right now. We release brand new gardening videos every single week, videos that save you money and time. The problem with modern vegetables. 70 or 80 years ago, the vegetable industry decided vegetables needed to be perfect. Perfect shape, perfect color, perfect size. They had to survive shipping across the country and sitting on store shelves for days. Plant breeders selected for one thing only: appearance. They completely abandoned flavor, nutrition, and ease of growth, and everything disappeared. All those incredible vegetables that tasted amazing, all those tough, hardy varieties that handled weather, poor soil, insects, and disease, all those vegetables that had fed people for thousands of years. These were the real workers, plants that kept families alive during the Great Depression, vegetables that grew in victory gardens during World War II, tough plants that immigrant families brought from their home countries. But the good news, these vegetables never actually went away. Seed savers kept them alive. Small seed companies still offer them. And once you start growing them, you'll wonder why anyone bothers with conventional vegetables anymore. The forgotten vegetables. 1. Good King Henry. This incredible plant was a foundation of European gardens for centuries. It combines the best parts of asparagus and spinach. Unlike most greens that produce for a few weeks, Good King Henry is a true perennial. You plant it once, and it comes back every spring, bigger and stronger each year. Harvest leaves continuously from spring through fall. In early spring, tender new shoots can be blanched like asparagus. It handles shade better than most vegetables and becomes practically indestructible once established. It doesn't bolt in hot weather. Pests mostly ignore it. Best of all, it actually improves poor soil just by existing there. 2. Scurrit. Scurrit was treasured throughout medieval Europe for its unique, sweet, almost nutty flavor. Visually, it looks like a cluster of small white carrots. It's another perennial. Plant it once and dig up roots in fall, while leaving others to multiply and spread. The plant grows about 3 feet tall with pretty white flowers. Unlike regular carrots that demand perfect soil, scurrit grows happily in heavy clay. The roots can stay in the ground all winter, and you dig them whenever you need them. In medieval times, people ate scurrit as dessert because of how sweet it naturally is. 3. Sea kale. Sea kale grows wild along European coastlines, which tells you everything about how incredibly tough it is. Young spring shoots taste like a combination of asparagus and spinach. It's another perennial. Plant it once and it gets better every year. By year 3, you have a plant producing incredible food for 20 years or more. The technique is simple. In late winter, cover the plant with the pot to blanch the shoots, making them tender and mild. A few weeks later, you got vegetables that fancy restaurants charge premium prices for. It tolerates drought beautifully, and deer won't touch it. 4. Scorzonera, or black salsifi. Scorzonera has black roots on the outside and white flesh inside. The flavor is absolutely unique, like a cross between oysters and artichokes. In Europe, people call it the oyster plant. If you leave some roots in the ground, they produce edible leaves in year 2 and reseed themselves, giving you continuous supply without replanting. The roots are loaded with minerals and special fiber for digestive health. They can stay in the ground all winter, so harvest them whenever needed. Like scurrit, Scorzonera handles heavy clay soil without complaint.
5. Salsifi, or white root. Salsifi is Scorzona's cousin, with white roots instead of black. It has the same incredible oyster-like flavor and grows just as easily. But salsifi produces purple flowers in the second year that are both edible and beautiful. Let some plants go to seed and you'll get volunteer plants forever. You can eat the roots raw in salads when young or cook them like parsnips when mature. The young leaves are edible. The flower buds can be pickled like capers. It's like getting 5 different vegetables from one plant. 6. Hamburg parsley, or root parsley. Hamburg parsley produces big white roots with a flavor combining parsley and celery root. These roots are absolutely incredible in soups and stews, while you harvest leaves all season like regular parsley. It grows well in partial shade, perfect for difficult spots under trees. It tastes better after a hard frost. Pests ignore it because of strong aromatic oils. It stores incredibly well all winter. This was a staple in European and colonial American gardens because it gave both a useful herb and root vegetable from one plant. 7. Cardoon. Cardoon is a giant, dramatic relative of the artichoke. Grow it for the thick stems, not the flower buds. Plants grow 6 to 8 feet tall with silvery leaves and purple thistle-like flowers. When blanched and cooked, the stems taste like artichoke hearts and celery. Cardoons handle intense heat and drought like champions. In fall, tie up the leaves and mound soil around the base to blanch the stems. A few weeks later, you have incredible vegetables that restaurants charge premium prices for, except you're growing them at home. 8. Crones, or Chinese artichokes. Crones are small tubers that honestly look weird, like little white grubs. But get past the appearance and you've got something incredible. They taste like artichokes and water chestnuts, combined with slightly nutty flavor and crispy texture. Crones are perennial and spread aggressively. Plant a few tubers, and within 2 years, you'll have more than you know what to do with. They grow in shade, which is rare for productive vegetables. They have 0 pest problems. Harvesting is easy. You can leave them in the ground all winter and dig them whenever needed. They're the ugly duckling that turns out most productive in your garden.
9. Seabeet. Seabeet is the wild ancestor of all modern beets, chard, and sugar beets, but actually better than any of them. It grows wild along ocean coast, handling salt spray, poor sandy soil, and harsh winds. The leaves taste like chard, but with more complex, slightly mineral flavor. Harvest continuously from spring through fall. The plant is incredibly tough. It doesn't bolt as easily and tolerates both serious drought and wet soil. It has deep tap roots, pulling minerals from deep earth, making leaves incredibly nutritious. If you have poor soil or salt issues, Seabeet thrives while everything else struggles. 10. Turnip-rooted chervil. How did something this delicious and easy to grow disappear from gardens? Turnip-rooted chervil produces small, gray roots tasting like chestnuts and potatoes with a hint of parsley. When cooked, they're sweet, nutty, and absolutely addictive. This is fall-planted, spring-harvested, occupying garden space during winter when nothing else produces. You plant in fall, they grow a bit before winter, then take off in early spring. It prefers cool weather and shade, making it perfect for difficult spring periods. 11. Alexander's, or horse parsley. Alexander's was grown for thousands of years before celery was domesticated. The leaves taste like intense combination of celery and parsley. The stems can be blanched and eaten. The flower buds can be harvested like broccoli. The roots are edible. The seeds are used as a spice. You basically get 5 different vegetables and an herb from one plant. It grows in partial shade and handles poor soil without complaint. Once established, it self-seeds, giving you volunteer plants forever. The young shoots in spring are considered genuine delicacies in parts of Europe. 12. Patience dock. Patience is literally in the name because this perennial gives you harvest for years. It's related to sorrel, but with larger leaves and milder flavor. The leaves taste like lemony spinach and are incredibly high in vitamins and minerals. This plant is absurdly easy to grow. It tolerates any soil. It grows in sun or shade. It's cold hardy to extreme temperatures. Once established, it produces leaves from early spring through late fall. Harvest outer leaves and let the center keep growing for continuous supply. It's the reliable friend who shows up every spring without fail. 13. Orach, or mountain spinach. Orach was more popular than actual spinach for centuries. It comes in green, red, and golden varieties, making it genuinely beautiful. It tastes like mild spinach with slight tang and can be eaten raw or cooked. But here's what makes it special. Orach doesn't bolt in hot weather like spinach does. It grows fast to 6 feet tall, and you harvest leaves continuously all summer. It tolerates poor soil and handles drought better than spinach. The red and golden varieties are stunning. Let one plant go to seed, and you'll have volunteer Orach forever. It's like spinach's cooler cousin who moved away and is waiting for you to reach out. 14. Rampion. Rampion is the vegetable that inspired the fairy tale of Rapunzel. It produces edible roots tasting like mild radish and leaves tasting like bitter lettuce. Both were eaten in medieval salads. The plant was so popular that people would risk sneaking into gardens to steal it. It's biennial, producing roots and leaves in year 1 and edible flowers in year 2. It prefers cool weather and partial shade. The roots are best when young, about pencil thickness. You can harvest leaves continuously. It grows with minimal care and gives you the satisfaction of growing from an actual fairy tale. 15. Artichoke, or Peruvian parsnip. Artichoke was a staple of the Inca Empire. It produces clusters of roots tasting like a cross between celery, carrots, and chestnuts. When cooked, they're creamy, almost like potato, but with way more flavor. It's perennial in warm climates, grown as annual elsewhere. It handles poor soil and produces reliably with virtually zero pest problems. You harvest after 6 to 10 months, using some roots and replanting others. This vegetable was second only to potatoes in South American cultivation before European contact. 16. Earth chestnut, or groundnut, or apius. Earth chestnut is a native North American perennial vine that fed indigenous people for thousands of years. It produces chains of small tubers tasting like combination of potatoes and chestnuts with a hint of artichoke. They're high in protein, which is rare for root vegetables. Earth chestnuts are nitrogen fixing, actually improving soil while producing food. The vines grow 8 to 10 feet and produce edible flowers that are fragrant and beautiful. The tubers are ready in fall and can stay in ground all winter. The plants produce more tubers every year. It's the ultimate lazy gardener's protein source. 17. Lovage. Lovage was traditionally grown as a vegetable, not just an herb. The leaves taste like intense, powerful celery and can be used fresh or dried. The stems can be blanched and eaten like celery. The roots taste like a cross between celery and parsnips. The seeds are used as a spice. You basically get 5 different vegetables and an herb from one plant. It grows in partial shade and handles poor soil without complaint. Once established, it self-seeds, giving you volunteer plants forever. The young shoots in spring are considered genuine delicacies in parts of Europe. 18. Oca, or New Zealand yam. Oca was the second most important tuber crop after potatoes in the Inca Empire. The tubers come in bright colors: pink, red, yellow, orange, and purple. They taste like lemony potato with hint of sourness raw that becomes sweet and nutty when cooked. Oca plants look like clover with colorful flowers, ornamental while producing underground. They form tubers in fall after first light frost. One plant produces several pounds. They have virtually zero pest problems. They're so easy that they're considered weedy in New Zealand. It's like growing rainbow potatoes that taste better. 19. Yacon. Yacon might be the ultimate forgotten vegetable. It's a perennial from South America, producing sweet, crunchy tubers tasting like a cross between apple and jicama. They're low in calories, but high in special fiber, incredibly good for gut health. Yacon grows as perennial in mild climates, annual in cold areas. The plants look like small sunflowers and grow 6 feet tall. In fall, harvest the tubers and save the crown to replant. The tubers store for months and get sweeter during storage. It's like growing your own superfood, requiring less work than regular tomatoes. 20. Ulluco. Finally, Ulluco from the high Andes. It produces tubers in colorful combinations of pink, orange, yellow, and red with stripes and spots. They taste like a cross between potato and beet with a slight nutty flavor. The leaves are also edible and taste like spinach. Ulluco was grown at 14,000 feet elevation in volcanic soil in conditions that would kill most vegetables. It thrived and fed people for thousands of years. The tubers form late season, like oca, and one plant produces several pounds. They have virtually zero pests, no diseases, and store for months. Each tuber is uniquely colored. Ulluco represents everything we've discussed today. Incredibly productive, handles tough conditions, requires minimal care, provides unique flavors, and has fed people for thousands of years. There you have it, 20 forgotten vegetables that grow like weeds, produce incredible food, and require a fraction of the work we put into conventional vegetables. The modern vegetable industry wants you to believe their hybrid seeds are necessary. But the truth is, some of the best vegetables grow despite us, not because of us. Every single one of these vegetables tells a story of people feeding families with what worked, plants that earned their place through reliability and production, flavors and nutrition we gave up for convenience. But these vegetables are still here. Seed savers kept them alive. Small seed companies still offer them. When you plant them, you're not just growing food, you're bringing back agricultural history. Here's my challenge to you. Pick 3 vegetables from this list, just 3. Order the seeds, plant them next season. Then come back and tell me what happened. I guarantee you'll be amazed at how much easier gardening can be. If you enjoyed this, smash that like button and subscribe. Drop a comment and tell me which forgotten vegetable excites you most. Keep growing smart, keep growing adventurous. The best vegetables are often the ones everyone forgot about.